And guess what? Andrew Whitworth, we got a list. So Andrew Whitworth went ahead and said he wishes the Bengals would swing for the fences. He said, let me see that move where you go, wow, they really swung for it. Amazing This Football Today, ESPN Now. Here is my swing for the fences, okay? Number one, trade for Micah Parsons. Trade for Max Crosby. Trade for Myles Garrett. Trade up to pick 1. Go get Travis Hunter. There's some swing for the fences right there. Pay T. Higgins and pay Jamar Chase. Swing for the fences there. Fire Zach Taylor, Duke Tobin, Frank Pollock. That's a swing right there. That's a swing right there. I mean, there's a lot of them. Okay? There's a lot of them here. Trade a future 5th round pick and go get a competent left guard. Actually go trade for some offensive linemen. Because obviously you're not going to draft them. And if you keep Duke Tobin, you know that's not going to work out. And Frank Pollock, I mean, for Pete's sake, you have him try to help anybody. It's not going to work out. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do. You know, like, get Ben Johnson as the head coach. I think if we fired Zach Taylor and got Ben Johnson as head coach, that would be a very big swing for the fences type of move. We know they're not going to do any of these things. Because, as Andrew Whitworth does say in here, they're a very conservative franchise. They're a crazy conservative franchise. They don't like to do anything that's considered outlandish or crazy or out of left field. But there's things they could do. 100%. And again, I just listed off, what? 6, 7, 8 things? 100%. Go get an actual pass rusher to have on the other side of Trey Hendrickson. But again, I highly doubt they'll do anything I just listed off right there. What we need to do, and again, swing for the fences here, we need to, this offseason, clean house, get some actual backup offensive linemen on this squad. Not rock and roll with a Cody Ford and try to make him unilaterally a Swiss Army knife where he can play 16 different positions. No, that's not what I mean by that. We need to actually spend some money on defense, work on some defense here, and perfect this defense. Which, that whole process is really difficult to do, right? And again, to the degree, right, getting backup offensive linemen, not really as challenging, you know, because mostly you're going to get that from free agency or you're going to potentially trade for somebody. Getting in the draft is never easy for offensive linemen when you're Duke Tobin because you see someone good and you put your blinders on and you go with someone who's bad. And then Frank Pollock just seconds it. But for free agency, I feel like you can at least get something going there. For defense, it's difficult because, again, how expensive it is. For offensive linemen already expensive, but defense, in order to get like the top of the top, crisp, best free agent possible, you're going to be spending an arm and a leg. With offense, you can, for the most part, be able to get away with some players and be able to get kind of a mid-range left guard or right guard as a backup in free agency. For defense, it's not going to be as easy. If you want to spend not much money or you want to get a mid-range guy, you're going to get a guy who's 35 years old and doesn't know what the hell they're doing anymore. At least with offensive linemen, when you say, oh, I got a 35-year-old offensive lineman, usually that's a good thing because that means they age like fine wine. The older, the better. So that's not a bad thing, but for defense, it's a bad thing. So you usually get a little bit better deals on offensive line than you can on defense in free agency. Across the board again, there's a million things to do. But I'm just scared that none of it's going to happen. And I'm scared we're going to be in the same spot next year because we're not going to fix any of these problems. And I'm scared my dreams and nightmares are going to come true here. But, hey, maybe something crazy will happen. I think the last swing for the fences thing here, Mike Brown sells the team. And gets an owner who actually wants to win and will spend the money to win. I think that's the last swing for the fences. Mike Brown has constantly shown over and over again over the years, over the countless years, he cares more about money than he does winning. And he'd rather save money and not spend money than win and win a Super Bowl and win a championship and win anything. And that's the basic bottom line, okay? You want to go down the list of problems here, okay? That is the head of the snake. The head of the snake is our owner is not committed to winning. He's committed to saving money and saving, and not spending anything. That's the head of the snake. Everything else below that is just going to connect to that head of the snake. Everything else is the proxy, okay? Everything else is a proxy here, and you're just going straight down. I don't like ever making comparisons. I'm not going to make a comparison. Okay, I'm going to make a comparison, but this is not like a direct one-for-one comparison, okay? But, for example, I'm going to sound like the Bills head coach here. You got Iran, right? And then you got Hezbollah, you got the Houthis, and then you got, what was that? Hamas, right? You got all those groups below Iran. Iran is the head of the snake. You got these proxies underneath them. Okay? If you want to get rid of the proxies, you got to fix the head of the snake here. Okay? That's I'm not trying to sound like the Bills head coach. Bill GM, whatever, and try to make, comments like that. But that is what I'm talking about, okay? That is the problem. You can get rid of the proxies all you want. But what's going to happen is the head of the snake is just going to replace those proxies with different, exact same concepts. That's just how it's going to work. So, if you want to get down to the nitty-gritty, okay? See, the stuff you hear on this channel that you're not going to hear on any other Bengals channel. I promise you that. Any other Bengals channel you listen to, you're not going to hear comparisons to Iran. I promise you that. I'll see you guys next one. Who knows?